Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is the best makeup of 2020. Where are they now? Are they still my favorites? And if you're interested in seeing what the story was last year and where they stand this year, then let's get on into it. Okay, so let's start. Last year I didn't put in things for categories if they weren't a favorite, so I didn't have a primer category last year. And then the first thing is something I've since finished up, and it is the collection concealer in the shade Fair 01. I finished it. I have not yet repurchased it, so technically it can no longer be a favorite, but because I don't have it anymore. But I'd be interested in buying it again when I use up some other concealers, because I did really like that one. But no, not this year. For foundation, last year I had the It Cosmetics CC cream in the shade Fair as the foundation. I finished it. And here we have repurchased it, but this time in the shade Fair Light. And I have it on me today. I feel like this colour goes better with my skin than the shade Fair because I have pink undertones. So I think that this works quite well, but who knows? Who knows? This is full, like a medium to full coverage foundation. Well, it's a CC cream. It has like a gel formula. It's not like a thick cream. I don't use that much on my face, so it doesn't feel... Why does my hair get so frizzy? Why? But it doesn't feel too heavy on my face. I think it blends down quite well. I just really like it, okay? I really like it. It's still up there as a favorite. If you prefer something extremely light coverage, then maybe this will be too heavy. It is fragranced. It is fragranced, but I like the smell of it. But just in case that's something that you're not comfortable with, I now have another foundation that'll be meeting this, but this is still a foundation that is a favorite. The video that I post after this one will be my 2021 favorites. So this is actually currently in my Shop My Stash, which is surprisingly, I call everything in Shop My Stash. This is currently something in my basket that I've been reaching for without realizing that it's in this video. For powder last year, I finished it. It's gone. It was the, I didn't have a pressed powder or a translucent powder, but I did have a banana powder because I didn't have favorites in those category. And that was the Dulce de Leche from Wet n Wild. I finished it. I finished the bronzer. I have not yet repurchased because I'm using what I have, but that has since been dethroned. I have found a product that is cheaper and better than that. So stay tuned for the next video to know what that is. But anyway, for the bronzing / contouring category, I had a cream bronzer in, a cream contour in, and this is the Fenty Beauty Ambra for the contouring shade. And this, surprisingly enough, is still a favorite. And I've had it in my like everyday makeup basket there for the last month. Again, without realizing, because I just wanted to reach for it. It's such an easy, I have it on today. It's such an easy product to use. It's so easy to blend. It's just so easy to blend. I use it. Where's the brush? Again, I don't have the brush with me. Basically an angled version of this kind of a brush, a stippling brush, but like a stiff one. And it's just so easy to use. I love this. I think this is a really good contouring product if you're into contouring. Otherwise, no point. I use it on my jaw to make myself have one chin. I use it on my cheekbones to give myself a cheekbone. And I put it on my 5 head to make it a 3 head. Okay, so that's what I use for that and I like it. For powder bronzer, my favorite was the Butter Bronzer in the shade Light Bronzer. This is still a favorite. This is an affordable one. Again, highly fragranced, smells like summer. And I finished this before, which I said in my last video that I posted about this. I purchased this in the other 2 shades. I think this is a really, really lovely bronzer. It pulls kind of yellow though, that's the only thing. The light one at least, it pulls kind of yellow. The bronzer shade is a really nice shade, I think. But all 3 shades work for me at different times of the year. But yeah, this is still a favorite. This is still a favorite, but there's another bronzer that also is a favorite, but that's still right up there. Then last year I had a cream highlighter, 2 cream highlighters. And the first one was from the Natasha Denona Bloom Blush and Glow. And I have since hit Juicy, Very Lucy Panule in this cream highlighter. This also was in for my favorite cream blush because I use it as a cream blush. But yeah, this is still a favorite cream highlighter of mine. I think it's bloody stunning. It's a duochrome pinky gold, but it's just so subtle and it's so buildable and it blends into your skin. It doesn't sit on top of it. I am struggling with this RMS Magic Luminizer. This cost me a fortune and every time I've used it so far, I do not like how it's coming out on my skin. It comes out on my skin like it's curdled and it's sitting on top. This is still, if I could buy this on its own, I absolutely would. I think it's beautiful. I really do. I think it's worth the money. I think it's a really good product. if you'd use all of the shades, that is. So that's that. That is still a favourite for both cream, just for cream highlighter, not for cream blush, but I suppose. The other one was this product, cream highlighter, and this is the Huda Beauty 3D highlighting palette in, how do I not know? I've been panning this for 2 years, this palette. In, I was gonna say summer days, like where am I getting these words from? Pink Sands edition in the shade Capri, and it's still not gone. I've been panning it for 2 years and I don't mind. That'll tell you how much you like a product. 2 years of almost every single time, and I don't mind. This took me a while to get used to how to put it on. I use it, I put a lot on my finger now. I use it with a beauty blender, like a sponge. Where's my little clothy thing? My microfiber cloth to the rescue. Here it is here. So it's like a, it's not cool tone. I don't like icy highlights on me. This is a champagne-y gold colour, and then I only put a little bit on and I blend that bad boy right on in, and there you go. You now have a glowy cheek. Does it accentuate texture? Less than a powder would. Less than a powder would. It sits into your skin and now your skin becomes this glowy juiciness. But it's not for everyone. I've heard people say that they don't like this, and initially I didn't until I started panning it, and then I got used to it. I think it's beautiful. It's still my favourite, but I don't really have many. So there are two still my favourites. And then for powder highlight, no, powder blush and highlighter, the favourite last year, which is not a favourite anymore, this is the Rose Gold duo from Jouer, and it's not that I don't like it anymore, it's just I didn't use it that much as much this year to say that it was a favourite. I love the size of this. I wish they all came in this size. I decluttered my Dandelion Benefit blush because it looks similar to this. I prefer a buildable blush than a pigmented blush personally, because I find it's very easy for me to overdo it. Very easy for me to overdo it. So I think this is fantastic. I think it's gorgeous and I love it. It's just that I didn't use it as much this year, but you'll see what I did use in the next video. But yeah, this has been not a favourite this year, but I still love it. That was what I had in for powder blush. I think that was the only thing. And then for powder highlight, that one last year, this is the Skin Glazing from Nabla in the shade Privilidge. This still is a favourite. I just have another one that's equally, I use as much as this one. I think this is absolutely stunning. It's a baked gelée. I think it's a hybrid between not hugely intense and not hugely subtle, but I'd say you could build it to hugely intense. I don't really like, where did I put it? I don't really like intense highlighters anymore. This is the pinky shade, and look at that. It just, oh, there's something so satisfying. I seem to prefer, instead of a thick powder that's a stripe and just is there and you're like, hello highlight, I prefer lately this thinner, oh, what would you call it? Like a thinner formula that's just in your skin and not on top of your skin and becomes one with the skin and is more glow than anything else. Oh God, because I feel like when you put this on you can't see a stripe, you just glow from whatever angle you go at, and I just love the colour. This is in the shade Privilege and it still is a favourite, and I think it's beautiful. I love the Nabla face powder products, absolutely stunning. So glad I have that. Lip products. Okay, so I had this lipstick. Okay, I rewatched the video. I had two lipsticks in, but I was not referring to the colour, I was referring to the formula. The Lime Crime one I had in last year in Airborne Unicorn, it was the purple one. And Katie sent me 3 of them because you can't get them. And thank you so much, Katie. Thank you so much. I love this colour the most now. This is the birthday suit colour. I don't think it's my favourite formula at the moment, and that's not for any reason other than I haven't been wearing as much lipstick, so I can't tell you. But I have been wearing this one a ton, and I think that this is gorgeous. I don't think though, the 3 that Katie sent me are obviously newer. My old one, my old one that I was panning, that would last for hours and hours and hours and hours on your face. It just would. These ones are back to like a normal lipstick that comes off in a reasonable amount of time. But I just love this. I just love this. I found it hard to do lipstick favourites this year because I wasn't wearing as much, but I love this. I still love this. And then I had put in the Charlotte Tilbury one that I'd gotten from Elaine, this sample size, and I had said in the video that it was the formula I thought was beautiful. However, I haven't really used it this year because I was panning a lipstick and that was pretty much mostly it. So I actually had this left out to use. I didn't even realise it was in last year's video. So it is in the shade Pillow Talk, the light one. So I'm interested to pull this out again. I like a lipstick that isn't too creamy where it's going to migrate across your face. So I like that this is a bit stiffer, and I think that's why. But I used a ton of it. So even though it's such a little tube, like a little tube, if you look down into it, there's actually quite a bit. Well, obviously this whole barrel, which I think is a lot. So yeah, then I had this formula in, and I bought this one myself. This is the Diamond Milk from Fenty, but I have 3 Fenty glosses. What surprises me is I've always preferred nude brown or clear gloss with 0 opacity, like pretty much no opacity. So I bought this one first, but surprisingly enough, I prefer these over this. But yeah, I don't think that these are as sticky as other glosses that I've tried. Is it my favorite gloss of the moment? Actually, no. But I'll be using it more in 2022, so we'll see. But this one kind of has been, it's again, lip products are so hard to say, but it hasn't been a favorite this year because I haven't been using it as much this year. They smell like cherries. I don't like the smell of it, but it's not, it goes, like I don't notice it when once it's on my mouth, it's just during application. These are really, really lovely glosses. They're just quite expensive though, but I like that they're not as sticky as other ones that I have used. For the other lip product, this was in my favorites last year and the year before, and pretty much in my life since I was like 14. This is the Rimmel lip pencil in the shade Cappuccino. This is still my favorite lip pencil. Will this ever change? Who knows? I hope they don't discontinue it. What's funny is, not only has it always been my favorite lip pencil, but even the shade Cappuccino has always been my favorite. I've gone through loads of these. I personally prefer to wear a lip pencil because I have an uneven lip line that I notice. And this is a cooler tone dark brown, and it goes with pretty much every kind of lip look that I would do. Like, not today obviously, but most lip looks I do are in nudie brown, probably because I go mad on the eye normally. I prefer pencil, like sharpenable lip pencils versus retractable, and I prefer drier formulas versus creamy so that it doesn't migrate around my face. So I love this Rimmel one. I like the MAC ones as well, but this is still my favorite. I love it. I'm loving it. I put in this last year. I don't know why. The NYX Glitter Glue. I didn't have a favorite primer, but I did love this glitter glue, and I only came across it last year because of the Melt Smoke Sessions palette. I think this is like glue for your eye, and I don't, like, technically yes, but it's still a favorite. But would I mention it? Probably not. This is still a favorite because it holds down anything for longer. If you have hooded eyes, I think it'd be handy for a thing like a wedding or something that you're doing for a long day so it doesn't budge. Lid shades, because nothing is really going to blend on top of it. I apply glitters with it and shimmers with it. Not all the time because I'm not going anywhere, but I just can't get over how it still feels so full because I actually have used it a lot. It's actually currently out because I've been using glitters a lot this month. For mascara, my favourite last year has not changed. This is the Ilia one I got from Elaine. Thank you so much, Elaine. I wonder how Elaine is doing. How are you, Elaine, today? This is the Limitless Lash Mascara, and I love this. I got it from Elaine. I don't buy high-end mascaras. I never do because I always had a good experience with the drugstore ones and I didn't see the point in me doing it, but now that I've tried this, I can't. It's a plastic bristle wand, which isn't for everyone, but it is for me and I love it. I used up the last one, and I use mascara until it's dead, so I tend to use about 3 mascaras a year max because I just will use them until I can't use them anymore. Pan 2, and then that wedding came up, so I went and pulled this one back out and now I'm using it again. I love this mascara. I've hooded eyes, right? Every time I wear mascara, it always transfers up here or down here. For some reason, this one never, ever transfers. I don't know why. It gives you really, really long eyelashes. I think it's more about the lengthening than anything else. What does it say? Limitless lash mascara. It doesn't really, does it? It doesn't say. But it hugely lengthens your eyelash. It does give it volume, but it's more about lengthening and brushing them out, and they just make your lashes look really good because I don't really wear fake eyelashes because I couldn't be bothered. For eyeshadow palettes last year, I had 3 in, and the first one was the Nabla Cutie Platinum palette, and I went on about this so much, okay? This definitely is the best. Well, all of these colours I absolutely love. I love them. But this is definitely the best silver shadow that I have ever used. Holy God, it is the best thing ever that I have ever bloody used. It's stunning. This is the only thing I think that's kind of seasonal for me. I tend bar like 2010 when I was wearing these two shades kind of colours the whole time. I tend to wear these shades only when it's cold or wet, and now it's wet right now, but so mostly winterish time, right? So I haven't really been wearing it much this year, and it hasn't really gotten as cold as normal yet. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. So it hasn't fell into a favourite this year because I haven't used it as much this year. But I love the formula. I love the shadows. I still love it. I just didn't use it as much for me to count it as a favourite this year. So that won't win out this year. Anyone who's seen that video from last year, I literally had an attack over this palette. This is the bPerfect Carnival 3 and Stacey Marie Love Tahiti palette. Oh, I love this palette. I just love this palette. It's massive and it's colourful. So you would think, God no way am I going to buy that clunky chunky thing. But I love it. I love the fact that there's so many different textures in here on top of your normal stuff. There is a flaky duochrome purpley shade that's just freakishly divine. This shade here is a duochrome blue to pink. Over here we have a duochrome goldy green. We have a neutral roll that leans quite orange on the eye. And there's just that lilac shade I used an absolute ton again this year. This definitely is still a favourite. This palette actually stayed on my desk for the entire 12 months of the year. Never once entered my drawer because I used it a lot. A lot. And I post looks of this on Instagram because I love this palette. I think this palette, the mattes are only okay. They're not bad. They're just not like something that you'd be like, oh my God, these are brilliant. It's the palette as a whole I love. The different textures, the shimmer colours, like the shimmery parts, and the mattes are lovely colours as well. It's just that the formula itself isn't like, whoa. Love this palette. Still a favourite. It's absolutely bloody divine, and I did use it a lot this year. And then the third palette I had in last year is this that I got from Christine Ann. Thank you so much to Christine Ann. Like, I can't believe she went out of her way to send me this. This is the Sydney Grace Summer Days palette. This thing is freaking gorgeous. Is this not sensational? This was my first experience with Sydney Grace. Let's just do a little swatch. I just can't, I barely touch this. Are you ready for this insanity? That is the first swatch. Let's keep going. Like, I barely tapped it. Let's go with this one. Like, it's just insane. That's on a barely tap, I got nearly my whole arm. Like, this is freaking divine. Oh, I love it. I love it though. Oh, it's such a beautiful palette. I didn't use it as much this year because I was trying to do, I did use it this year. I just didn't use it as much as I did because I was trying to get through. I had a personal project that I was doing this year. So I don't know would it fall into it because of the amount of times, fall into my favourites for this year because I didn't use it as much, but my God, do I love it. And I actually will be using this more, particularly when I'm back in the office, or like back at, not even in the office, but when life is better, you know, so that I can like use it. I find it hard to use things I really, really like when I'm not leaving the house at all, which I know is like a weird thing probably to say, but it's just because this one is so special. I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna. So anyway, that is that. So that is my reflection on my 2020 favourites. What is the story with your 2020 favourites? Are they still there as favourites or are you over it? Because I feel like these last 2 years are being a little bit of a whole life change for us all, so it is curious. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you the next time. Take care. Bye.